Sunday dinner. Big table, louder voices, same old routine. I was setting the salad down when my nephew Aiden, 13, going on insufferable, snatched my phone off the table. He held it up like he'd just discovered roadkill. Mom says this thing looks like a bootleg calculator, he said, smirking. Laughter. From everyone. My brother chuckled through a mouthful of garlic bread. My sister-in-law Brittany added, "Oh, relax, she can afford another one." I didn't say anything. Not because I didn't have words, but because their laughter felt rehearsed, like I'd heard this scene before, just with different props. Aiden turned the phone over in his hands, inspecting it like it was a cheap toy from a gas station. And then he folded it the wrong way. Snap. That sharp, unmistakable crack of expensive tech bending where it shouldn't. The table went quiet for half a second. Then someone muttered, "Oops," and the laughter picked up again, even louder. I didn't flinch, didn't raise my voice, just smiled, picked up what was left of my Galaxy Z Fold and said, "No worries," but inside something else folded. And it wasn't made of glass. That night, I didn't cry, didn't rage. I just went home, poured a glass of water, and opened my laptop. There it was, a spreadsheet I'd named Family Expenses. No password, no drama, just numbers, cold quiet truth. Tuition for Aiden, $1,200 a month. Music lessons, $200. Summer camp, $500 every June. All of it. Every single dime. Paid by me. I scrolled back through the years. Birthdays. Christmases. School fees. Over 60 grand, $60,000. For a kid who snapped my phone and laughed. I heard my mom's voice in the back of my head. "You don't have kids, Jazz. Help where you can." Funny how help turns into expected, and how expected becomes owed. That night, I hovered over one small checkbox. Auto payment. On. I clicked it. Off, just like that. No warning, no explanation, no text. And when I closed the laptop, I didn't feel guilty. I felt finished. I set the broken Galaxy Fold down next to it. Not as a reminder of what was taken, but proof of what I was done giving. 2 days later, my phone lit up at 6:47 a.m. Brittany. I didn't even get a hello. She went straight to screaming. Aiden got flagged by the school. His tuition payment bounced. "Are you kidding me?" I took a sip of coffee. "I stopped paying," I said calmly. "That's not my responsibility anymore." Dead silence. Then, "Excuse me, he's your nephew." "No," I said. "He's your child. Start treating him like one." She lost it. Screaming something about betrayal, how I was punishing a kid, how she thought she could count on me. I hung up before she finished the sentence. 15 minutes later, Ryan called. His tone was different. Not panicked, just pissed. "What the hell is going on, Jasmine? Why would you do this without talking to us?" I didn't blink. Actions have consequences. He laughed, but there was no humor in it. Just disbelief. "You're seriously doing this over a phone?" "No," I said. "I'm doing this because I finally realized I'm not your backup wallet." Then I hung up again. No screaming, no drama, just truth and a quiet line. Sunday came again. Same house, same table, but everything felt different. No jokes, no sarcasm, no one mocking my phone this time. Just tension, thick enough to cut with a butter knife. They were all waiting for me to say something. I didn't. Ryan was the first to crack. "You're punishing a child, Jasmine." I looked up slowly. "No, I'm correcting a pattern." His wife Brittany jumped in right after. Her tone was high sharp like a teapot on full boil. "You embarrassed us people. Talk, Jasmine. You know that, right? Parents at school, church, our neighbors." I stayed calm. "So did your son," loudly, while breaking something he didn't pay for. "Funny how you didn't mind that kind of attention." She blinked, caught off guard. Ryan looked like he wanted to say something else, but then Uncle Marcus leaned forward. This man barely spoke at family dinners. Always polite, always quiet. But now he murmured just loud enough to be heard. About time someone said it. The entire table went still. All eyes turned toward him, shocked, confused. I turned toward him too, and he met my gaze. Just a small nod, quiet, steady. But that was all I needed. In a family that only valued me for what I gave, I had finally been seen for what I held back. The letter came on a Thursday. No warning, no second chance, just one sentence stamped in bold: enrollment terminated due to non-payment. No grace period, no extension. Just like that, Aiden was out! And the whispers started almost instantly. Brittany's social circle, the ones she'd brunch with, post selfies with, they noticed. Fast. Why isn't Aiden in school this week? Heard they're switching to public. Wait. Jasmine was paying for it. And then her Instagram went dark. No outfit of the day. No Marna mom life quotes. Just silence. Until she broke it with a cryptic story post that read, "Funny how people turn their backs once you're no longer useful." Classic Brittany, always playing the victim in her own mess. Meanwhile, Aiden, he wasn't handling it well. He cried to Ryan one night, "Everyone's asking if we're poor now. They're laughing at me." And at Ryan's job, his coworkers, guys who once envied his polished life, started cracking jokes. "What happened, bro? Private school. Too pricey now. Hey man, if you need help with a GoFundMe?" He laughed it off, barely. But I know pride when it bruises, and his was black and blue. Then Friday evening came. Doorbell rings. It's Brittany. Mascara smudged sunglasses pushed into her hair, and this fake little smile like we were still sisters-in-law and not two women standing on opposite ends of a truth too big to ignore. She sniffled. "I came to talk. This is all spiraling. You don't understand what people are saying." I stood there, arms crossed, not budging. "This isn't about a phone," I said. "It's about respect. Something your house ran out of a long time ago." She opened her mouth, ready to spin it again. But I turned and walked inside before she could get the next word out. No yelling, no slamming doors, just silence. And silence this time was mine. The first Monday of public school hit like a storm cloud. No more polished loafers, no logo-heavy backpack, just a plain uniform, scuffed sneakers, and a lunch bag without a name brand. Aiden stood in front of the mirror that morning, stiff and quiet. Not defiant, just hollow. The pedestal was gone. Now he was just a kid trying not to look like he'd fallen. But kids notice. By lunchtime, someone had already posted a TikTok. A quick shot of Aiden sitting alone with the caption, "Discount prints at the lunch table today." It spread faster than a wildfire. And no, I didn't smile. But I felt it. That shift. The weight of entitlement starting to peel off. Later that week, I bumped into Uncle Marcus at the grocery store. He didn't say much, just this. He barely talks now. Comes home, goes straight to his room. House is real quiet these days, but not in the good way. I nodded. I didn't need the details. That's the thing about silence. Once it settles, it echoes. By Friday, a florist showed up at my door. Roses. Pink and white. With a tiny envelope tucked between the stems. "Can we start over, Brittany?" I stared at them for a long minute, then handed them right back to the delivery guy. "Tell her to try again, somewhere else." He looked confused, but I didn't explain. Because this wasn't a movie. There were no clean do-overs, no fade to black forgiveness. Some things don't need a fresh start. They just need to end. My mom called and said, "Come by for tea, Jazz. Just a quick talk." Nothing heavy. I should have known better. When I walked into her living room, I saw the setup right away. Ryan on the couch. Brittany right beside him. Aiden, arms crossed, eyes low. Even cousin Jenna, who hasn't shown up to a single family dinner in years, was there, pretending to sip from a mug she wasn't even holding right. And my mom sitting in her chair like some kind of referee, rosary in one hand, guilt in the other. It wasn't tea. It was a trap. Brittany started first. Her voice was shaky like she'd practiced the tremble. "Jasmine, please. We've all said things. We've all made mistakes, but he's a kid. He doesn't deserve this." I didn't say a word. Ryan pulled out a folded check, like it was a peace offering. "Just help us get through the next semester," he said. I scraped what I could. "We'll take over after that. I swear." I looked at the check, then at him. Still silent. Brittany nudged Aiden hard enough that he flinched. He finally muttered, "Sorry." I locked eyes with him. "Do you even know why I asked?" He blinked, looked at his shoes, said nothing. Exactly. That's the thing about forced apologies. They don't land. They just hover, waiting to be ignored. I turned back to the room. "You all think I'm cruel," I said. "But for once, I'm just being fair." And that's what scared them. Because fair meant boundaries, and they'd never seen me with those before. The following week, the final cut came down. Aiden was officially suspended from all extracurriculars. No more robotics club, no jazz band, no swim team. He wasn't just out of school. He was erased from everything that made him feel important. And I didn't gloat. I didn't post about it or tell anyone. But one night I got a voicemail. It was Uncle Marcus. His voice was slow, tired, but certain. You did right, Jazz. You taught them what the world won't. Boundaries don't make you cruel. They make you free. I sat with that for a while. Just let it echo. Later that same night, there was a knock at my door. I opened it to find my mom, no casserole, no forced smile. Just her, standing there, cardigan wrapped tight, eyes misty. This isn't like you, she said, voice trembling. You've always been the peacemaker. I looked her in the eye. No, Mom, this is me. The me who finally got tired of being used. She didn't respond, didn't argue. She just stood there, holding disappointment like a bouquet. After she left, I walked over to my desk, pulled up my contacts, scrolled until I found the school's number, held my finger over it for one breath, and deleted it. Not as a tech move, but as something bigger. It was symbolic. It was final. It was mine. I leaned back in my chair and whispered to no one but myself. I'm not their foundation anymore. The final Sunday dinner felt like a funeral no one admitted to. No fine china this time, no wine glasses clinking or perfectly plated hors d'oeuvres. Just takeout containers sweating on a paper tablecloth, and silence so loud you could hear the clock tick from the next room. Aiden sat with his arms folded, eyes glued to his fries. He didn't look at me. Not once. Brittany barely spoke, just pushed food around like she was waiting for a script that never came. Ryan. He didn't try to argue or explain. He just looked up and said, "You won." I didn't laugh, didn't gloat. I just met his eyes and said, "This was never about winning. It was about waking up." I stayed for exactly 15 more minutes. Long enough to sip water, answer one polite question from Aunt Denise, and excuse myself without dessert. Back home, I opened the drawer where I kept the broken Galaxy Fold. Still cracked, still heavy. I placed it in a small black shadow box I'd picked up the week before, lined with velvet, sealed with quiet intention. It didn't look like a tech gadget anymore. It looked like a war medal, a symbol of the moment I stopped bending to fit inside someone else's story. And as I slid it onto the shelf just above old photo albums and untouched gifts, I whispered, "They'll never fold me again."